Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of Mr. J's Geek Corner. Place we talk about anything and everything that is geek, will be TV, comics, movies, or video games. Excuse me. And as y'all know, last week I went over some of the top 10 coolest vehicles and geek related media. And if y'all, in case y'all ain't checked that out, go check that out. It's a totally awesome video. And it's really fun too. But this week I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue and counting down what I think is the top five coolest tech in geek media. I mean, it's just, and there's been just so many over the years, and like I said, comics and TV and movies and everything, and sci-fi, and I said mainly comics and sci-fi. And it's just so many. They're so cool, like Iron Man's armor and Batman's gadgets and everything. But I just narrowed it down to what I think are the top five coolest pieces of tech in geek media. And number 5, and I got visual aids. So once again, just like last week, none of these pictures belong to me. They belong to the content you see belongs to the rightful owners. So don't get mad at me. It's just merely for educational purposes. And start off with number 5 is one really iconic piece of tech, and that is Darth Vader's life support suit. Not just Darth Vader himself, the suit. And I'm gonna say that to me that is just one great piece of technology that is in dire need to be put into real world application. I mean, the whole entire suit and him sealed up inside. I mean, I'm not talking about the robotic arms and everything. That's just appendages. I'm talking about the suit that actually keeps him alive. I mean, how beneficial would this be for actual burn victims? I mean, for those who can't live outside of, or those who need constant oxygen, or bad elements are bad to them and everything. I mean, how good would it be to strap on a suit like this and go outside and just be able to live? I know you'd be sealed away in a suit, but you could still go outside and do things. Go live your life. I mean, not a particular design like this. I'm just talking about a life support suit. You could just go outside and live your life. I mean, that would be great. I mean, I know it's not a picnic for Darth Vader because, well, he got burnt. I said he nearly got completely burned to death, and he lost a lot of appendages. I mean, it's a painful existence for him. But in real life, if they could really get it to work, this would be a valuable piece of tech in real life. But I mean, it's a valuable piece of tech in real life, and it'd be just as amazing as it is in the and not just in Star Wars, but anything that's got like a life support system to it. I mean, if you're not like to the extent that you're like a walking corpse with a suit on, I mean, that would be great for folks who could just like if they can't go outside because of like extreme, like the sun or allergens or something. You can wear this suit, and well, it would be, and you would be able to just go outside and just live again. And if they build a life support suit, like if folks are paralyzed and they build a particular type of like like if they're quadriplegic and they could build like a life support suit like that, that would help them to walk again. Wouldn't that be great? That would be an amazing piece of tech right there, to see somebody who is basically paralyzed from the neck down get a suit like this that not only helps them to breathe but helps them to walk again. That would be amazing. And it would be as amazing as it is in any comic book or any movie. I mean, that would be a great piece of tech, and I could see that happening. I mean, if it ain't on any experimental stages now, I'm sure it's on the drawing board. But anyway, that's an amazing piece of tech in comics and in movies. I mean, to be able to, even though you got that kind of injury, you can still live with that kind of suit. I mean, that is just amazing to me, and that's why it's number 5. And number 4 on my list is one that is a very very iconic piece of tech from over the years. You almost can't even have a list without it, and that is the tricorder from Star Trek. And you believe that the tricorders used to look like this? And this is a tricorder from the original Star Trek series, and it's gone through under many more upgrades and changes over the years, and then all the way to the point that it looked like this from Star Trek Next Generation. And I think I actually saw some from the Star Trek, the newer Star Trek movies, and it kind of changed a little, and I think it tried to make it a little bit more futuristic too. I mean, but still, that's the iconic tricorder. I mean, a scanner, just a scanner. It looks about like a flip phone that you slip right in your pocket, as you can scan the elements, like getting scientific readings, or in the case of like a doctor, medical readings. I mean, I didn't even get to show that one, but like the medical tricorder, which has the little medical scanner in it. I mean, it's just an amazing little piece of tech in Star Trek. You could just scan your surroundings and pick up readings or anything dangerous, or whether it's safe, or get like just. I mean, it's just an amazing piece of scientific technology, and as for whether or not it's going to be in real life, who knows? Who knows nowadays? Who knows what they got in the drawing board? But still, it's an amazing piece of technology that it should be just as beneficial as a life support suit, definitely. You actually go and explore areas, and get scientific, and just read like animal life and plant life and what's in the air and stuff like that. I mean, it would be great to see that in real life, but since it's just in Star Trek universe, you just have to settle for that, I guess. And it's just amazing. It's just an awesome little piece of technology, and that's why it's on number 4 on my list. Number 3 on my list is one that I don't know if it's ever popped up in any list talking about coolest tech ever, and I think it's pretty cool just because of how unusual it is, and that is the Kryptonian crystal technology from Superman, particularly from the Superman from the Richard Donner Superman movies of the 70s and 80s, in 1970, in late 70s into the 80s. A technology which has popped up in comics, or as so iconic and so known of Superman from those movies that it's managed to wedge its way into the Superman mythos. I mean, the fact that they've, like Smallville, knowing that it's based around those movies, and a little bit around those movies, even his top and technology is based on crystals. And even in the Superman Doomsday, there's a little bit of that crystal technology in there too. It's like an homage to that. And probably the biggest sign that they brought it into the comics was after Infinite Crisis, Luthor found this. A ship. And I forgot to mention also Superman Returns is based all around that same crystal technology. I mean, it's like Lex said in Superman Returns. He's like, imagine an entire civilization with weapons and ships and cities all grown. And that's where their technology comes from, is that sun crystal. I think that's what it's called, is sun crystal. And if it's like put in contact with any kind of like minerals or anything, it builds like the minerals of a planet. It builds like crystalline structures, and all their technology is based on crystal. I said their spaceships, their weapons, their this particular type of Kryptonian tech is based on I said that their ships and cities and all their technology and their weapons and everything are all based on crystals, on growing crystals. I mean, you see. I said all their knowledge, and you see in the original Superman movies, all of their, and even in Smallville, all of their knowledge is encased in these little crystals. And that is amazing that they've got, like I said, it even shows in Superman Returns the extent. I mean, of course, in the original Superman movie, that there's spaceships made out of crystals. Now, see, even in Superman Returns, when in that deleted scene where he's flying around the universe, flying out to where Krypton used to be, in a ship made of crystal. And then, as I showed you right then, that ship they found in the Up and Away storyline post 1 year after Infinite, the 1 year later story in Infinite Crisis. There's warships made of crystals. Warships. And the fact that he managed to manipulate the ship and transform into like a giant robot type thing. And in Superman Returns also blending it with Earth's crust and kryptonite to make an island that is like part Kryptonian crystal, part Earth minerals, and part kryptonite. And I mean, and the matter of fact, he grew his own island out of that. And then also in another deleted scene, the fact that when it grew, in fact, and when Superman throwed it into the atmosphere, it settled into an orbit and started to continue to grow, and it was going to end up forming its own planet. I mean, that is just amazing technology, highly advanced. I mean, why wouldn't that make it on a list of cool tech? The fact that all of your technology is crystal based. How could that not be cool? How could it not? And that's why that's number 3 on my list. And I know why ain't that number 1? Well, there are a couple others that's even cooler than crystal tech. And it leads to number 2. One of the most iconic pieces of tech in any genre, the phaser from Star Trek. As you see there, that's the phaser from the original Star Trek series. And permit me to flip for a second. There are all the different phasers from. Give me just a second here. Here are all the different phasers from the Kirk years, from like the 23rd century, and here are the phasers from the 24th century. All the different models. You see, like different hand phasers. I mean, how awesome is that? I mean, it goes right along with the classic hand ray, a handgun type thing, laser gun, the classic laser pistol, laser gun type thing. I mean, there are so many other kinds of phasers. I can't even feature on here, like phaser rifles and stuff, phaser cannons, or particularly like laser cannons, like from the original Star Trek pilot. But it's like there's just so many different types of phasers, and I mean, and in the newer movie, they more had it like a gun, and it shot more like the Star Wars laser blasters that storm like anybody laser pistols like Han would carry or something now. Yeah, but it's just. I mean, think about a gun that you could set to stun, you could set it to cut through, you could set the laser to any intensity, like to either stun somebody or cut through a surface or even vaporize somebody. I mean, that's amazing unto itself right there. I mean, it's cool, all the different designs they come in with over the years, like progressively upgrading it and everything to the point where you got like the one Star Trek where it's like this. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's a great piece of technology. It's like, I'm gonna say, have they got them for real? Who knows? I mean, I've heard rumors for years they've worked on stuff like that. But they were. I mean, you've seen it in the news, obviously. Every time it's like, are they doing this? Are they all the speculation? Man, there's a possibility they could work on that, and yet at the same time, who knows? Who knows? Same time, it could be an impossibility, but who knows? Maybe someday you'll see a real phaser, but in the meantime, you can always enjoy the movies. I mean, and TV shows. I mean, and the fact also that I didn't. Another one I didn't get is the one from Enterprise, because they're very primitive. I mean, it's more like they call them phase pistols. They ain't gonna call them phasers yet. They're phase pistols, and they were kind of like really primitive looking, very primitive looking, by compared to some of the ones I've showed you. But I said it's just an amazing weapon, amazing sidearm, and I said it's just amazing piece of really cool piece of tech, an iconic piece of tech, and that's why that made it number 2 on my list. And which leads me to number 1, which I think is probably by now possibly a dead giveaway. I would hope it is, and that is the lightsaber from Star Wars. And as you see there, that's every lightsaber all the way up to Darth Maul. I mean, it's everybody's there. Let me double check that for a second. Well, it doesn't have Darth Sidious on here from what I see here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Sidious's lightsaber because the hilt on his looks really awesome. But the lightsaber is when something has been a piece of tech that everybody has mimicked for years. I mean, it's one that everybody has wanted. I wanted a real one, me included, has wanted one for years. And like I said, a sword that could cut through anything, a laser sword that looks cool, very colorful. Like I said, cut through anything, and it's just a great weapon, all around great weapon. And I mean, of course, my favorite being red because, like I said, I like the Sith more than the Jedi. But I mean, it's just all around awesome. And not to mention, the next one has a very interesting. The next Star Wars movie, Force Awakens, has a very, very interesting version of a lightsaber in it that belongs to the Dark Warrior, Kylo Ren. You see there, the crossguard saber, which has actually existed before. So everybody's like, how in the world can such a thing be in existence? You see right there, and right there what it looked like before the screen went out. Like I said, it's existed before. Definitely go Google it. But this is a very, I'm gonna say his looks very, very like slapped together, primitive looking. But still, it doesn't make it any less cool. I mean, it's just a awesome looking weapon, very formidable looking weapon. Definitely goes with the look and everything. But a lightsaber definitely has been something that folks have wanted for years. Are they working on it? And are they working on real lightsabers? Who knows? Maybe they are. Maybe they aren't. Who knows? But I've heard folks for years say that they love to have picking a weapon. They'd love to have a lightsaber. Me included, definitely. I'd love to have a red lightsaber of my own. But that's it. But it's just the cool. To me, it is probably the coolest weapon in all of science fiction. I mean, nothing can match it really. I mean, there's been hardly a weapon that can match a lightsaber except for those stabs and that those droids had in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, they're the only thing that is not a lightsaber that can pretty much stop one. But anyway, it's just a very cool weapon, a very stylish weapon, and as Obi-Wan said, it's an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. I mean, it's just very, very cool, and that's why it sits on top of my list as the coolest piece of tech in geek culture and geek media. Plain and simple, hands down, better than anyone on this list. But what do y'all think? What's your favorite piece of tech from sci-fi or comic or anything geek? What is your favorite piece of tech? Let me know. As always, drop a comment in the comment box below. I would love to hear what y'all have to say on this. I love to hear what your favorite tech is. Did I miss one? Like I said, let me know. Drop a comment in the comment box below. And that's all for this week's edition of Miss J's Geek Corner. And as always, if you have any comments about the show whatsoever, drop me a comment in the comment box. If you have any ideas of things or topics you want to hear me talk about on this show, drop me a comment in the comment box. I'm always looking for fresh new topics and subjects to discuss on here. So definitely drop them in the comment box. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your ideas. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share with all your friends and tell all your friends. And I'll see y'all next time.